Second race on the card on this, the Betway Weighted to Win show, as we're out at Turffontein on the stand side track. It's a 1400 metre maiden class field. And please note that number 1 Lady Greensleeves and the 8 Venetian Moonlight have both been taken out when we did the show, of course, on Wednesday morning. So just note that as you go through it. They've got the source Alicia's Love as the favourite. Top of the boards at 15-10 on the Wednesday. 4 Lady Crusade is the second choice at 22-10. And Mr. Burrows, from a bipod perspective, would those two be enough?
Clyde, I thought Alicia's Love overdue a maiden victory. And I think with Richard Fourie in the saddle, she could get it right this time around. I'm hoping that they tuck her in a couple of lengths off the speed instead of going to the front or sitting handy. And I think she'll give that finishing kick to win this type of race. Now, Lady Crusade, second run after a year off the track, she could run a flat race, but she could improve as well. And then More Than All, first run for Tony Peter, fair debut. But I think Alicia's Love is now overdue.
Okay, so Alicia's Love perhaps consistent enough from a bipod perspective. The other one may just be in need of the run. Daryl, is that about right?
Track's going to be perfect there, Clark.
Should be, yeah. Well, the sun's out all day of Wednesday, so it should be good. A little bit of, I think there will be a bit of give in the ground because it did absolutely bucket down on Tuesday. We needed it.
All right, so yeah, I mean, Alicia's Love, her form's all there for everyone to see. I think her latest start, Clyde, is actually her best to date. That winner could be anything. She runs in the last race on Thursday, and I think she'll take a power beating. Yeah, Clyde, I didn't bank her. I backed her up with number 4, Lady Crusade. Now, she was making a return from a lengthy layoff last time out, but there was substantial trade on her, Clyde. She was fancy to run a big race. Somebody thought so because there was a lot of money on her. She went down to the start too keen for my liking. I actually surprised she stayed on for third. Let's see how she goes. It is quite soon after that comeback starts. Hopefully she doesn't run flat. So for me, 4 and 5.
Okay, so you want to go both of those, Daryl, in the play, Lady Crusade. The fact, worrying fact, I guess, will be that second run after that long rest. But all are in form. Let's take a look at the bipod now. We'll put it up. There's Daryl Marie's bipod. He's calculated to go a couple in each race and long in the one leg, and it's 160 Rand cost. Welcome back. Good to have you with us again, and take a look at this next race on the card right now and see what the form all works out. When I asked Daryl Marie, it is a maiden plate and it's over 2,400 metres. When I start Daryl with this horse Exhale, who's run a handful of times already. I would have thought on that last start, although soundly beaten, must have some sort of claim in a race like this.
Absolutely, Clyde. If this was over 2,000 or shorter, I'd certainly made number 7, Alicia's Fall, very hard to beat because of the pull in the weights. You can see she's only got 52.5 to shoulder, whereas Exhale, who you've been giving me breathing exercises off air, so maybe it's the omen. He has got 60 kgs to shoulders, so 7.5 kilograms is a lot of pudding, especially over 24.50 on the stand side track.
Sure.
So that's the only reason why I'm putting her in. I think Exhale's of the two is certainly going to appreciate the step up in trip, whereas Alicia's Fall's got stamina doubts, but because of the pulling the weights, I respect her. For me, I'm going 1 from 7.
Yeah. 7.5 kilos, a big weight at the end of the day between two horses, gelding and a filly. Mr. Burrows?
Yes, I'm concerned about Azaleas for All getting the trip, where Exhale will get the trip, I believe. So I'm going to have to lean towards Exhale as the horse to beat. By no means a good thing. I mean, these horses are all fairly moderate. Azaleas for All, she is overdue. If she sees out the trip with bottom weight, she's a runner. And then Harold the Duke, he's a 5-year-old maiden, but he is the best of the rest because there's not much form of the other runners.
Yeah, interesting race it will be. So Daryl's worked out his PA for 160 Rand. Again, he's got a lot of horses. Well, double horses in each of the legs, and he'll be depending on that horse. Give me another, the last leg of the place accumulator, as his banker of the day. Okay, pick 6 time now. Let's get on to race number 4 on the card, where you've got a 12 to 10 shot priced up on the Wednesday, Namakwa Blossom and Lucky Udalarcus Richard Faree. They pair up as the right one in the race. Mr. Burrows, is this the right horse for you? Bankering this in the pick 6? What's your plan?
Yes, definite banker, Clyde. I thought very, very hard to beat in this lineup. You know, she was a filly with a lot of ability over the staying trips early, and she seemed to lose her way where she still ran in the Oaks over 24.50. And then her last 2 runs after a rest were really encouraging. 2 lengths, Damo Star. She's come out to win again. Third behind the Colts, Afrod, only beaten half a length. And now having a peak run with Richard Faree in the saddle. And the only danger has been scratched. So I'm very confident about Namakwa Blossom.
Okay. Confident about Namakwa Blossom. Daryl, we watched Namakwa Blossom a few times. This horse hangs, eh?
She
She's still the
hangs,
horse, but
she gets there oh so easily and then turns it up. So that's a big concern for me. But Clyde, she is the class package in the race. Her 2 runs since being rested have been very pleasing. Having her peak run, I'm sure Richard will try ride her as confidently as possible. Have a look at that combination stats, Clyde. 12 runners, 6 winners. They got a 50%
he's never
strike
ridden her, or
rate.
has he?
No, he hasn't ridden her.
He's never ridden Namakwa, eh? And yours came from there in one, eh? That you took the other day. What was that horse that won that long distance on the weekend? Came from Namakwa Blossom. I mean, she was in that form line.
Which one
I'll
was
tell
that,
you
Clyde?
now, behind a fraud, it was called Breeze Over.
Oh, okay.
Breeze Over there was nothing between Breeze Over and a length or so at Namakwa Blossom.
Yeah, I mean, she's back against her own sex, so I certainly give her a strong winning chance. I just haven't banked her because I know she likes to get there and just throw in the towel. Yeah, people are going to laugh at me, Clyde, but I'm backing her up with the very exposed and moderate Solar Diva. Now, last time out, she only beats Azalea's form, but she comes into this handicap off a fair rating, and you know, maybe she's got a little bit of confidence behind her now. She's only 1 from 1 with the tongue tie being fitted. I think that certainly helped her. She's unexposed over this distance. And Clyde, you know why I like her? Tyron Zaki's stable, when the sting is out of the ground, they really perform at their best.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to love this thing out of the ground. And if the favorite does perhaps fluff her lines,
Nice 8 to
who
1
knows,
shot.
maybe Solar Diva's the right one.
Okay, well, there's an 8 to 1 shot in there. Solo Diva's a bit of backup if you want to consider it. Here's a pick 6 from Darren that he's worked out for you people. And you can take a look. He's bankering in the first leg and he's also bankering in the last leg. All our team here, depending on this horse. Give me another at the back of today's play. Race number 5 is a middle stakes over 2,000 meters. This event, we'll have a look at the idea of market, where 7 to 2 about Milieu, number 7 on the card. That's for Johan Janssen van Vieren. Number 9, Total Surrender for Lucky Udalarcus, also trading at that price, 7 to 2. 6, Home of the Brave is 4 to 1. And you can get 6 to 1 about number 5, Perfect Witness. After that, 7 to 1 and better about the balance. Mr. Marie?
Yes,
Talk
Clark.
about it.
This is a conditions race. It's a middle stakes event. Best weighted is the Ferris 6, or are the Ferris 6, numbers 5 and 8. Perfect Witness, £2 best in. Lacks silvers or form, so you can't really fancy your chances. Excuse me, Clyde. You know what I love about this race is the fact that Home of the Brave is now on a testing track. Turffontein stand side. I think the 10 furlong he's going to love. Once again, Tyron Zaki, sting out the ground. 54 to shoulder, or what's it, 56 to shoulder. Caden Burr's riding very well, Clyde. I think he's going to put in another bold effort. Backed him up with Milieu, who not much separating himself and Total Surrender on form. But Milieu, on the stand side track, Clyde, I think he's going to long the run in. Love the long run in. And the stable's doing well. The stable's come to good form. He can be ridden nice and patiently. It is a small field, so he certainly won't have a lot of ground to make up. And if Gavin, if things go his way and Gavin can produce him at the right time, I think he could run the field down. So for me, I think 6 and 7 will suffice. I've got respect for a few others, but I'm leaning towards Home of the Brave over 10 furlongs on the Standside track. I think.
Crying for the Standside
I think he's going to love it.
Been crying for the Standside track, Home of the Brave. Mr. Burrows, what do you say?
Very tricky, Clyde. I played the field here. First choice, probably Perfect Witness. She's really found her best form again, and I think she'll be right there at the finish. Miller Hugh's got to be a serious runner because he takes time to unwind, and the Standside track's going to suit him from a one draw. He's going to come from off the pace. 5 and 7 got to go in, and a couple of others. Home of the Brave must be a runner too.
Sure. Okay. Thanks, Mr. Burrows. You got it. For Darren, it's rather an open race. For Daryl, he wants to go 6 and 7 in his jackpot. Then a whole lot of horses, then 2 and 10, and then a handful of horses at the back. That jackpot will cost you 200 Rand. Right, time to use the sprint course now and sprint them over 1,000 metres, where number 2 Cliffhanger tops the boards at 28 to 10, joint with number 9 Ziyasha at 28 to 10. And then you've got the one Rulership in here, Darren, at 5 to 1. Which one's your first choice?
Rulership comes into the race with a realistic chance here because he's joined the Tony Peters stable, and whenever a horse joins the stable, they improve a couple of lengths. We've seen it with plenty horses in the past season. Rulership got to go in. He's run off Isi Vungu Vungu, Pray for Rain, Coin Spinner. That's good enough. Cliffhanger comes into the race with a big chance. Pity about the one draw up the straight, but he'll be right there. He shows plenty pace. And Ziyasha, I think he's carrying 58 kilos now, if I'm not mistaken, because he won just the other day, and he's got a big chance. Of the rest, Mythical Dream and Tchaikovsky have placed chances.
Okay, so quite an interesting race. I'm not sure which one you want to lean on or lean towards, Daryl. So Striker's got a ride, yeah.
The viewers are going to think I'm in love with Tyron Zeki or today, Clyde.
Yeah.
But I like Tchaikovsky. I mean, he loves the soft underfoot conditions. That's proven. And he's back in a handicap. So, excuse me, Clyde, he's drawn on the right side. I'm hoping he can follow 1 or 2 through, and he can switch it on. So I think he may well be the each-way play in the race. Healthy respect for number 1 over here, Clyde, making his debut for his new yard, Rulership. Like Darren touches on the fact that they can improve when joining Tony's yard. Cliffhanger, unsure about the inside draw. You know, on the inside track, it was a plum draw. Now, could be drawn on the wrong side, especially with us having had some rain recently. And then I'm not ruling out Ragnar Lothbrok, number 3. You know, he's a hold-up type of horse. Striker loves to time them right. So if he can just be put to sleep at the back of the field and relax in running, he can certainly turn it on.
Sure.
And he's another one that loves the wets. I think he's won 4 in the wet. So who knows, Clyde? He'll certainly improve on his debut effort for the yard.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. And he was in quite a strong company last time, so watch out for Strike in a race like this. Okay, so Daryl with Tyron Zaki. Darren, as you heard, there are a few that would have chances, and it does give you an opportunity to get a jackpot, and if you haven't already done so, here's one to look at or maybe consider, where Darren's going as follows: 1, 2, 7, 8, 9 by lots of horses, both second and third leg, and he'll be waiting at the back for that horse. Give me another. Race number 7 is a handicap for fillies and mares at the 90 level. This is a 1,400 metre race. What's the idea from a market perspective? They've got 33 to 10 about Tony Peters' horse Runaway Bomb. And Darren, a horse like Cape Lights, number 2, I personally think must have a serious claim, would have a chance. I know in your one of your jackpots or whatever play you did go wide, so you're making it quite a challenging race.
Yes, Clyde, I could give a chance to about 7 runners of the 10. Now, you've got Cape Lights and Runway Bomb. There was only, what was it, neck separating them, and Runaway Bomb's 2 kilos better off for that neck. Now you've got Dolcezza. She's running Feature Race Company, Grade 1 to Queenie. Her comeback run beyond Mrs. Browning wasn't bad. Key elements in up-and-coming filly. She's won 3 from 7, got the 1 draw. Others to consider, Quasi's Lady returning after a break over a distance short of her best. So there are a few with chances. Probably Runway Bomb with bottom weight could be the horse to beat.
Okay, Runway Bomb with bottom weight, maybe the horse to beat. You, Daryl, what's your...
Yeah, Clyde, we know Tony gets his horses very fit, and I think with 52 to shoulder from a neat draw, they're going to push forward and probably take the lead up, get the run of the race. And she's an improving sort of that, there's no doubt. So I'll certainly make her one of the leading lights, and she could prove very hard to peg back. But I'm going with Cape Lights to confirm that form.
Okay.
I know she's worse off at the weights, I think 2 kilograms. But I like the way she won last time, Clyde. And I actually think she'll be better on the stand side track, the longer running, because she took some time to get there. But when she did, she was extending at the finish. For me, I'm not looking past the two of them. I'm going 2 from 10.
Okay. So those are the two to battle it out, Cape Lights and Runway Bomb. And as far as the 7th is concerned, our recommendation then from the gentleman with regards to what you may want to consider around play of the day. Well, the last 3 races we'll cover here with Cape Lights and Runaway Bomb now. Then in the 8th race, Daryl's got quite a few horses that you need to consider, and you'll know by now that the boys are all on to number 5. Give me another at the back. So the Aussies have got the favourite, number 8. Mondial is a favourite here, 2-1. Second choice, number 7, Player, who's trading around 3-1. And then you can get 7-1 about number 9, Vesuvio. And then probably 8-1 and better about the others. You've been tipping Tyron Zaki's horses today, Daryl. He's got this horse Vesuvio in here. It wasn't a bad run last time, I thought.
If that wins, I'm not going to be happy.
Is that you ignored it? Why is Murphy's Law? Which one then?
Yeah. I've actually played to beat the Player form line, Clyde. I'm on the fence with regards to that. Mondial slightly raced. They try and blinkers for the first time. We've seen House of Romanov done very well.
And there was another
since
from there as
exiting
well,
the maiden ranks.
And there was another, wasn't there? Wasn't there 2 winners from there? It doesn't matter.
Your favourite horse, isn't it Mr. Azzy's horse?
Yeah. I can't remember now, but okay. It's
It's Mr. Azzy's horse.
Yes.
Excuse me, Clyde. Have a look. I don't know. Darren and I, funny enough, fell on the same horse over here, Clyde.
Oh, okay.
Clarkson.
Which one's that? Clarkson.
I know he's yet to win on a soft track, Clyde, but all his runs on a soft track have been very, very promising. If not in the money, very close up and over the wrong distances. Now have a look. He's got this thing out the ground. He's 2 from 2 over the course and distance. Oh no, he's 2 from 4 over the distance. So Craig can ride him quietly, get him to build up, and I think now that he's been stepped back over a more suitable trip, you can expect a lot of improvement from his behalf. And what's nice is his ratings come down to an 82. So if you're looking for the value in the race, number 2 Clarkson. The race doesn't stop there over there, Clyde. You got Billy Spellbound. I know he might need one more, but he is the class package in the race. Barney's Pride. Watch out for improvements on his behalf. And yeah, that's about it from my side. But I think hopefully Darren and I can bring home Clarkson for the viewers.
Maybe you can. Well, the Black Lightning was House of Romanov and Mo the Man came out of a form line there as well. Both winners from that form. Do you give that any sort of...
Who?
Black Lightning?
No,
Do you give it a...
No.
No chance?
No, not for me.
Not now. Okay. Mr. Burrows, tell us about this race. Daryl says you both worked out that Clarkson's the right one.
Yes, Clyde. I put the field in the pick 6 because I thought there could be a result, and that result could be Clarkson. Now, I've always been a fan of this horse. He's a lovely looking horse. He stays all day. I don't understand why they've been sprinting him or 1,400 meters, 1,200 meters for such a long time. I think the last time he went over his suitable trip was in January. So his ratings come down, even though he's run over the shorter trips. And now he steps up to the 1800, good draw, rating down to a 82. And I believe he's got another win in the tank. So Clarkson, I think 14 or 16 to 1. Let's have an each way.
Okay. Thank you for that. That's Clarkson. The boys are interested in Clarkson this afternoon. Number 2 Clarkson on the Wednesday was trading around 14 to 1. So give me another. We've been talking about this for most of the show, and the guys are quite keen, obviously, on this give me another. There at the bottom of the screen, you can see is what we tweet out on social media and on WhatsApp, on X and on WhatsApp. There's the number. Join us if you haven't already done so. The show must have the largest database in terms of punters in South Africa by a distance. All right, so give me another is the play. What's it? 8 to 10. Daryl Marie. Was it a bigger price?
Clyde, I'm very disappointed to sit here and give out all the scratchings to the viewers.
Is that why?
Perella's come out, Rose Tinted comes out, 3 Strands, Princess Azaria, Lorna Lily, and unfortunately, due to the fact of the scratchings, his price has been adjusted accordingly, or her price, and she's now into 8 to 10. You say?
Okay.
So
it's not money.
Well, let's hope we can get some even money race time. I'm not phased about the result of the race earlier, where Alicia's Love runs. I think this filly's a high-class filly in the making. I think she's going to go through the divisions, and for 84, I think all she needs is luck in running, and she'll remain unbeaten.
So she's impressive, huh?
Very, very impressive winner in my books, Clyde. I penciled her down and I said, this is one to follow.
Okay.
All right. I might just add, Clyde, she won when the stable was going through a very quiet patch. And now Mr. de Kock has turned. They're having their winners now. So I think the floodgates are going to certainly open.
Okay, interesting. All right, thank you for that. I'm just watching her last start. Yeah, she does get the upper hand of Alicia's Love, and she starts to draw away from her, and they were 5 lengths ahead of the 3rd and 4th horses. Mr. Burrows, so I'm assuming that your sentiments are the same.
Definitely, Clyde. This filly, give me another. I expect her to win by 3 lengths, gearing down at the finish. She could be a class above this type of field, and with those scratchings coming out, I'm bankering her in everything. And if you can get even money, I suggest you have a bet.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Well, give me another. Was on the inside track last time. Sure that the stand side will even suit what is a smashing looking horse so much better. That's a play from Betway's Weighted to Win, everyone. Thank you so much for joining as always, and we'll look forward to catching up over the weekend.